this is Jonathan, your fitness business management expert, and in this video, I'm going to go over some questions that you want to ask your clients daily or every time that you train with them, because I've seen that it's not uncommon for clients to come in with their personal training sessions especially, and essentially use the trainer as a therapist. So although it's your job, in addition to instructing, to reinforce their habits, their good habits, and to try to help deter them from their bad habits, people will come in and then the first question you'll ask is, hey, how you doing? And it may be a case of, because you've grown close to the client, which is never a bad thing, oh man, I had a worst day at work, or oh man, you should see my daughter or my son is killing me, or my boss said this, or my mother-in-law said that, or I'm just going through this blah, 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 blah. And before you know it, your entire session has been dedicated toward nodding and saying, okay. And then moving them on to the next session. And you never really get to help them refocus on their nutrition. Now, I see some of my clients almost every day as I run a boot camp. But some of you that are personal trainers may only train a client, 3 times a week, 2 or 3 times a week. So there's a long period of time that goes in between your last training sessions. And if all they did was complain and you didn't give them anything to go for, to shoot for in your last session, that means they've had 48 hours to do whatever they want with no direction. Now, you can't be with your clients all the time. What you can do is you can start off all your sessions by asking specific questions that I ask my clients every day to make sure that you have an idea of what this client is doing outside of the workout, nutritionally speaking. And then from there, you can dedicate whatever time you have left, whether it be 45 or 30 minutes, to the workout, so that your client actually sees an end result in their end goal. You can't get sucked into their lifestyles. You're in control. So, what questions do you want to ask? Number 1, what time did you go to sleep last night? And then, what time did you wake up? It's going to be very important to understand how much sleep your client is getting over the course of a day or the last couple days. You may want to ask your client to keep a sleep journal, only because a couple of things happen when you don't get enough sleep. First of all, you're not well rested, and that can affect performance. So if your client is just completely burned out and you're just kicking the crap out of them, you're really going to be doing them no good. And then second, if your clients are staying up really late habitually, outside of studying or doing something constructive, they're also more likely to eat and snack more than they would if they were sleeping earlier and going to sleep earlier and sleeping more. So it's going to be very important for you to track how much sleep they're getting, and it's also a fair question to ask. Is that enough sleep for you? People know how much sleep they need. Like me, I need about 7 hours. On 7 hours, I can be pretty good. 8 would be great, and trust me, I could do 9 no problem. But I'm functional at 7. So if you know that your client needs at least 6 hours and they're continually getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep, broken sleep maybe, you may need to suggest that they see somebody to test for sleep apnea or something like that. You also want to check the quality of sleep. So if you find that their sleep is not going well, you're going to want to address that and then help to point them in the right direction, either to a specialist, because it's a problem with, it's something internally that, that's just not going well with their sleeping, or habit-wise, if they're just up, on Facebook or on television, or wasting time. Poor time management leads to poor sleeping habits, leads to poor nutrition, leads to poor exercise habits. So you also want to get a handle on their time management. So what time you go to sleep and what time did you wake up is always going to be a great question. I tend to work backwards because I see my clients every day in the morning, but you're going to want to know what their last meal was before they saw you. And that's just so you get an idea of, have they overeaten? Have they eaten at all? Do they have enough energy to get through the workout that you have set for them? If they're under eating, why? And if they are under eating, how is that affecting their eating later on in the day? Because when people tend to under eat in the morning, they'll overeat in the evening. So you want to know what their last meal was before they saw you. Now, I specifically have morning clients, so my question is, what'd you have for dinner last night? And also, what time did you you have dinner? Because I generally suggest that clients don't have large, solid food meals within 3 hours of going to sleep. And I think that would be a generally accepted American health tip. And so if they're having large meals and then going right to sleep, you may want to ask, what is going on with your time management? Or why would you opt for this meal so soon before you went to sleep? And then you can give them nutritional advice from there. Next question that I ask my clients every day is, what kind of vegetables did you have yesterday? And that's just because I'm a vegetable nut, all right? And maybe you're a nut about something else, or how much water did you drink, or depending on what kind of client you have, how much alcohol did you drink, if you know that your particular client has some kind of drinking habit that they need to work on. But I'm all about vegetables because I feel that vegetables make the world go round, and if you eat them, you're more likely to get the nutrients that you need. You're less likely to have to rely on these multivitamins, and you're actually cooking for yourself, which is something that I prefer. So I always ask, what kind of vegetables did you have yesterday? And it will also help me to squash some of their bad ideas surrounding vegetables. Like, oh yeah, I had vegetables, but it was in a deep brown sauce, and the broccoli was brown. Or some people just consider potatoes their vegetable, and you want to. I mentioned in a previous video about helping the clients get the nutrition under wraps, talking about a circle. And there are some foods that are better than others. So maybe your client only considers potatoes vegetables, so you have to work them toward green leafies, which I can't really see any trainers disagreeing with the importance of green leafy vegetables in the diet. But even if you do, there has to be something that you especially want your client to work on. So you always want to keep them accountable for that. What did you have, or did you have? How much of this did you have? Because we know that you have to have this in your diet based on what we spoke about in order for you to get to your goal. Next thing that I don't think many trainers will debate is your water, soft drink, soda, and alcohol intake. Oh, you may want to throw coffee in there as well. How many cups of coffee, how many cups of water, how many cups of soda, how many cups of alcohol. If you're tracking that, then you have a fair idea of how many empty calories your clients may be having, how much soda your client may be having, and how much water they may need to get into their system more. And if you go through sleep, what you care about most, for me, it's vegetables, the last meal they had before they went to sleep, and water. You're going to get a fair idea of how your client operates throughout the day. Now, if time allows, I'll go through the entire gamut with the client, like tell me about the entire day. Or I'll just say, all right, any cookies, cakes, creams, crackers, chips, candy, chocolate. I'll go through that entire gamut, and I want to know, because that's what people cheat with, and that's what people don't really track. And so keep them accountable. And let me tell you, this conversation doesn't have to take more than 5 minutes, all right? This exchange between you and your client. But you can, from there, give them something to shoot for. All right, by the next time we meet, I want you to have done this, this, and that. So you're not just, giving them a great workout and then they're ruining it. At the gym that I used to work at, they had the shake bar, and they had this thing called the peanut butter dream. It made me sick because it had to be at least 800 calories. But it tasted good from what I understood. And people would go to the gym just for the shakes, and not even work out, on top of their regular eating habits. So they're cramming in all these extra calories, thinking that they're doing something good because the protein says burner protein or fat loss protein, and there's really no such thing, all right? So be mindful of what your clients are consuming and address that first in your sessions. Otherwise, you're going to get sucked into their conversation. You're going to give them great workouts. They're going to cheat like crazy. And then when it comes down to the weigh-in, they're going to look at you and they're going to ask, why am I not losing weight? You need to give yourself ammunition. Well, you haven't been sleeping. You told me this. You haven't been doing this. You haven't been doing that. So either you're going to get your stuff together, or you're going to stay the same way on the scale. But if you don't know anything about them, if you're not taking this time to address what they're doing outside of your workouts, because it's not an insult to you, but your workouts are not enough, your client is not going to see the results that they want. So take the time to ask the important questions first, then you can laugh and gossip and counsel all you want for the rest of the workout. And I think you'll have, at the very least, you'll have a client that won't be able to complain once it comes time for them to look at what the scale says. So I hope you found this video helpful. Remember to like this page, comment on this page, and if you find this video to be of any particular value, add this to your favorites. I will routinely change the name or the location of a video based on search engine optimization. So if you always want access to this content, add this to your favorites. If you're on Facebook, share this video. If you're on Twitter, retweet this video. Why? Because there are a lot of other trainers out there that would not be able to find this information if it wasn't for your help. So, you're getting this information for free. If you find this to be of any value, instead of trying to pay it back, pay it forward. If you just happen to stumble upon this video, add this channel and subscribe. This channel is dedicated toward helping people outside of the fitness industry get into the fitness industry, helping new personal trainers become better personal trainers, helping personal trainers become business owners and boot camp owners, and helping boot camp owners become really successful boot camp owners. So there's going to be a wealth of information. So if you subscribe to this channel, I promise I'll do my best to hold your attention. So remember, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to comment, message, email me. Remember to eat healthy, hydrate, drive safe, stress levels low, get rest, don't slap anybody. I will see you all tomorrow or the next day, and you have a good one.